Hello everybody and welcome back. With the morning landscape passing by the window and the occasional rattle of the train bumping the carriage around, I try to focus my attention on the agent playing cards held in my hand. I'll raise you to I'll raise you 5. I... She looks so bored. She scrunches her face up and leans over to Lily conspirationally, the two exchanging a few whispered words. Considering how often this has happened so far, I'm coming to doubt Hanako's grasp of how to play poker. It doesn't seem to disturb Lily's reading though, her hands flitting over each page with only occasional corrections to account for the train's bumping and rocking. My collection of chess pieces that we are using as ships is steadily growing anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. Looking around us, our carriage is almost as empty as the station's platform we'd waited for the train itself on. Only a handful of people can be seen, looking mostly like tourists and couples on holiday. While the two continue their less than clandestine strategizing, a small boy looks over the seat and stares at me. Hoping he doesn't begin to stare at Hanako, I simply give him a wave and a smile. Thankfully, he retreats back to his seat after finding me far too boring to waste his attention on. I'll see you and raise you another 5. Damn, you got me, I fold. I've been bluffing, and she's caught me. Hanging my head, I push over a large portion of my winnings. Hanako looks absolutely delighted, and even if Lily keeps her attention focused on her reading material, I can see the smirk on her face. They're both extremely pleased. She does smile. For a moment, I try to work out what Lily's reading, but the cover is too faded to read beyond the fact that Roman letters are on it. A pity. I can't read the braille above the printed title. What are you reading, Lily? The title looks like it's English. That's right. It is. And then there were none. An old British story. I could read it to you if you'd like. She extended the offer with a grin, obviously in jest. Single pass, thanks. After a seemingly endless trip, we finally reached the promised land of the Sato summer house. Even after the train trip, the walk up seemed to take forever. It doesn't look that fancy. Despite my grumblings though, I have never guessed the sight that will be in store for us once we travel that long, deserted road. It looks more like a farmhouse than the everyday house I'd imagine, small in size and surrounded by trees and bushes. An empty expanse of the wheat fields and farming land can be seen as we walk up, the fencing only consisting of rickety old wooden planks. It really drives home how far we are from the major cities, and is a sight that feels anti-ethical to the environment I grew up in. The only thing that doesn't surprise me is its western styling. Wow, it's amazing out here. It's wonderful. That's nice to hear. While Akira may have said that she's kept the house in reasonable condition, I was worried that we might have different standards of reasonable. It looks like there isn't another soul for miles. I thought Akira would be the type to keep to keep to the city. Lily furrows her brow in thought, seemingly recalling almost forgotten knowledge. From memory there is a small town not too far ahead. Other than that though, this is largely just all farmland. Akira and I stayed in our parents' house, which was in the nearest city for a while. But after they left, we decided to move into a smaller, more easily maintainable house. To find a place like this in Japan nowadays, it is kind of anachronistic. Well, this town does have quite a bit of history. I looked down the street and one last time before getting back to the task at hand. Shall we go in then? I'm parched. It was a long walk to get here. Lily gives an enthusiastic nod, the three of us lugging our bags into the house. As soon as we set foot inside, Hanako and I start looking around, taking in every detail of where we'll be staying for the next few days. All the artifacts of another life stopped mid-motion are around the house, such as the television guide lying beside the counter it was on, and pans in the adjoining kitchen still sitting on the stove. It is a strange feeling, really, as if we were stepping into Akira's life for a brief moment, before leaving in a couple of days, just as we'd come. Of course, the more mundane reality is that she just hasn't cleaned up after herself that well. Where should we put our bags? I'll show Hanako our bathroom. You can put yours here if you like. You mean I don't have the same bedroom as you do? I mean, we could share. Hanako flowers into a full blush as Lily takes her cheek in her hand. Oh my, how bold! You too. Hold on, if I am to leave my bags here, where should I be sleeping? You are looking at the bed. Well, seeing as we lack a bedroom. The convertible photon, huh? Sorry, Hisao. I sigh, lamenting my place on the bottom rung of a sleeping location priorities. I guess there's no other choice. Lily leaves to show Hanako to their bedroom, so I take a small tour of my surroundings after I drop my bag on the floor. The kitchen, just like the living room, is fairly modest. The rustic nature of the wooden furnishing drives home just how far we are from civilization. Returning to the living room, I decide to try out the television until they get back. With a touch of the remote, it immediately flickers to life, apparently set to a news channel. Almost flopping down from exhaustion, rather than sitting, I lay back and watch. And watch. And watch. And watch. And... Hisao! I quickly blink to wake myself up. Lily and Hanako haven't returned, minus their bags. How long did it take them? From the Hokkaido night sky, visible outside the windows, it looks like I drift off to sleep. Looking to the wall-mounted clock, it's already 10. You found the television then? Yeah, it really does feel nice and homey here. I am glad you like it. You were already out like a light when we came back after unpacking our things, so we didn't have the heart to wake you sooner. Judging from her giggle, it must sound funny when I sleep. I swiftly decide not to inquire. There's some dinner waiting for you in the kitchen. Hanako gives a deep yawn, only just remembering to cover her mouth at the last second. My, are you tired? I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm pretty tired too. This sleeping got me real tired. It was a long walk up here, and it's getting late. If that's the case, I suppose we should retire for the night. Good night, Hisao. Good night. Night. With that, they quietly returned and walked back to their bedroom. Rubbing my eyes, I sigh. I wonder if I'll be able to get back to sleep after being woken up. I suppose I'll eat something and watch some TV quietly before going to bed. Dun, 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 dun. Katawa Shoujo. Is he still sleeping? I think so. I'm not. I am, however, incredibly tired. It's getting late in the morning. I know that. He likely stayed up to watch television. I could hear it from our bedroom. Only because I couldn't get to sleep. Should we wake him? Don't do that, Hanako, please. No, we should leave him. I doubt he'd want to be woken up early if he didn't get much sleep during the night. Thank you, Lily. Besides, he sounds so peaceful. It will be a shame to wake him when he's like this. Keep a straight face, Hisao. It is nice she cares so much, though. Hanako, could you go to the fridge and fish out what's needed to make lunch? Wait, how late is it? Alright, just the vegetables and rice? That should be enough. We only need something simple, as we can eat in town later. Hanako's footsteps on the carpeted floor can be heard, moving away from the living room. As I do, I feel Lily's hand gently rest on my chest. It takes a titanic effort not to react, but something about her makes me think she knows I am awake. A long silence passes. The only thought in my mind is of that gentle, outstretched hand lying upon my chest. After an indiscernible amount of time, Lily withdraws her hand. Good morning, Hisao. Conceding defeat all too easily, I prop myself up and rub my eyes. How'd you know? Your breathing was off. While that makes sense, she couldn't have needed that long to work it out. Knowing her hearing, she likely knew before laying her hand on me. If you want to sleep more, you should really go to bed earlier. I heard the television going long into the night. Sorry about that. My medications have been interfering with my sleep for a while now. Even if I'm tired, I'll have trouble actually sleeping. I'm sorry for bringing it up, Hisao. I sigh. This is exactly the kind of thing I wish others wouldn't do. Wave her off, address it. Be a man. Be a man. Come on, you worry about me more than I do at times. It just means I have to sleep a bit longer, that's all. But still. I say that I look absolutely fine, but I guess that wouldn't have a lot of meaning for you. She gives a sigh of consternation before trailing off, with an amused chuckle, giving up the point. If you say so. Please, do take care of yourself, Hisao. Go on, Hanako could use some help. She moves to protest, but reluctantly acquiesces and disappears into the kitchen, her hand running along the smooth white walls as she slowly walks. For a while, I sit and watch television in an attempt to wake myself a little more. But it is futile. I don't have anything better to do, so I follow Lily's lead. As around the corner, I see Hanako and Lily, backs turned, quietly cutting the food on the granite-colored counter. I am temporarily engrossed as I watch Lily guiding the knife down and carefully with a finger on the cabbage she's cutting. Each slice delivered slowly but with precision. She seems a little slow, but considering that she can't see what she's doing, it is a small wonder she can cook at all, let alone for both her and Hanako. Hi Hanako, Lily, want any help? Is that Hisao? Ah! Oh, morning Hisao. No, she cut herself. Lily jerks back in surprise before turning around, her yelp immediately drawing Hanako and me to her side. What's... Ah! A small trickle of scarlet falls downwards from her pale fingertip, the knife having cut just deep enough to draw blood. With the television sound masking my footsteps, she must not have noticed me coming. To compensate for having to use touch to guide everything she does during cooking, she must need to pay extra attention. Lily! Don't worry, Hanako. It is just a small wound. It is nothing but a flesh wound. You should still get a band-aid on it, at least until it stops bleeding. First aid stuff will be in the bathroom, right? I think so. Will you be okay here, Hanako? I frown at how little heed she's paying to herself as Hanako gives a quick, almost automatic nod. It is fine. I can keep making lunch. An awkward silence reigns as I set the bottle of antiseptic and box of band-aids on the side of the sink. Lily's finger held out for me to treat. The lid of the bottle comes off with a minimum of resistance, and the small ball of cotton I soak in the liquid stains a pale green. Okay, hold still. This'll probably hurt a bit. She gives a small nod as I take hold of her hand to steady it. With all the tenderness I can muster, I gently bring the dampened wad to the small red line. Ah! What? I barely touched it. Sorry. I gave a sigh, both as her reaction and to settle my own nerves. Her pain tolerance is startlingly low. I will tell you to man up, but I can't really do that. As she gives a small giggle, I take advantage of her momentary distraction. I gently press the cotton against her finger a few times. Thankfully, it is enough to do the job. We both settle somewhat as I bring the band-aid over to the tip of her finger, covering the wound while making sure not to get it stuck to her fingernail. There, finished. You can move now. Taking her hand from mine, she gently clasps it in the other. Thank you. It's no problem. It is the least I can do after causing you to hurt yourself after all. She lowers her head slightly at the apology, absent-mindedly rubbing her hand in what seems to be embarrassment. I really don't mind. Her answer doesn't seem to make much sense, given that what happened is pretty clearly my fault. I can't help grimacing at her, despite the fact that her dainty smile still holds. She must not like being reminded of the limitations her lack of sight imposes on her. It seems something I can't possibly fault her for. I've fallen prey to the same kind of feelings before, despite my condition not being nearly as ubiquitous in my life. Neither of us any the happier. We head back to the various smells of cooking food coming from the kitchen. I lay out the plates of food, steam slowly rising from the well-cooked rice and curry dishes, while Hanako lays out the cutlery. Knife one side, fork on the other, western. How perfectly fitting for someone like Lily. As we take our seats, taking careful heed of the dark red tablecloth hanging below our knees, Lily emerges from the kitchen. In her hands, the 3 glasses and a bottle of wine. Are you drinking? As I recall our previous run-in with a devilish elixir, I hide my face in my palm. Alcohol? Seriously? I like the taste. She pauses and she reaches the table, a playful grin perched on her face. Akira specifically gave permission to take a bottle from her collection. Not only does she give alcohol to minors, she even lets them pilfer their own. The perfect model of responsible adult, Akira is not. What is the drinking age in Japan? Because in the US it's ridiculous. You imagine having to be 21 to be able to drink. More to the point, though, is that this is hardly a meal deserving of alcohol. I'm starting to think Lily's the type to easily become hooked on things. That's not really the problem. I don't really have any qualms with it. But didn't you have a bad experience with it last time? Did she? I don't remember that. Last time was likely due to drinking too much, so a single glass shouldn't prove a problem. Think of it as a learning experience. I can't recall many learning experiences that made me feel rotten before putting me to sleep. But I will take your word for it. She dips an uninjured finger. She dips an uninjured finger inside to feel the liquid level, deep against the bottom as the liquid rises up. The white of her finger almost seems to glow as the sunlight hits it, the delicate outline blurred and refracted by the glass. Her fingers are definitely longer than mine, the kind I think more suited to a pianist than a teacher. She'd likely have done well if she learned how to play. We quickly dig into our meal, forks and knives clattering against the plates. None of us are particularly eager to speak while eating, Lily altogether too reserved for such a thing, Hanako probably too shy to start conversation, and I too busy savoring the food. Such a pedestrian activity, eating together at a table. It seems so utterly normal, yet it makes me realize how long it's been since I've done something like this. Just the three of us, sitting around a single table eating us, just the three of us. As if we were a malformed family. Maybe this trip, as far away from everything as we are, was worth it. It takes quite a long time, but eventually we all finish our surprisingly filling meal. The wine, thankfully, has a little effect, given we've only had a glass or two each. I slump back into the seat, rubbing my stomach contentedly. I'm stuffed. Lily pats her mouth with a napkin, twice, only twice, and with evenly timed intervals in between. It's hard to tell sometimes whether how she acts is a well-trained routine or a well-rehearsed act. I think I must be as well. Did you like it, Hanako? It was nice. Now that we are well fed, shall we be off? Off? Where? You weren't privy to the discussion between Hanako and me earlier. I get the impression she's having a subtle dig at me sleeping in. Well, we'll be going into town nearby. I guess I should have expected the two girls to take a holiday as an excuse to go shopping, no matter where on the planet they may be. I am interested to see more around the north though, so this can only be a good thing. Sounds good. How long the walk in then? It is supposed to be around a mile to a mile and a half. Nearby? Huh, great. Just great. Oh, it's... An inclinated road is harder. As we climb up the path surrounded by trees and undergrowth, I watch Lily and Hanako walking ahead. The slight breeze all but whisks away the sound of Lily's cane gently tapping on the ground. I notice that Lily since removed the band-aid now that the bleeding of her finger has stopped. A deep, long-feeling breath of the fresh country air makes me wish all the harder that the air around home has been quite so clean. It can't have even been half a mile, but I'm already working up a sweat. It isn't a pleasantly cool day, though, so I shouldn't be too hard on myself for it. Hey Lily, how well do you know this town anyway? Since I spent quite a few of my vacations here, up until I entered Yamaku, I'd say I know it fairly well. We used to drive there once a weekend then. I wish Akira was here to drive us now. I quickly take a moment to rub my hands a couple of times, staving off the oddly cool feeling in them. Did you like it up here? I'd say it was nice during winter, but as you can work out, summer gets a little too hot for comfort. It is nice and quiet at least. My family's real house is quite far south. When they left Japan, my parents gave it to Akira and me. Only Akira lives there now, after my moving into Yamaku. Well, quite certainly describes this place. Though lonely is how I'd put it. Other than the prophesied small town, there isn't another soul for miles around. Coming from a home nestled deep within the big city, it is certainly different. I think that if I that if I'd not come to Yamaku, staying out in the country like this would be too much of a change to get used to. After getting accustomed to the school's isolation though, the idea of living in a place such as this has become almost inviting, to be somewhere away from the hustle and bustle of the metropolitan centers. So Hisao, have you been to Hokkaido before? Nah, I used to live down south, and we never had any field trips or holidays up this far. Well, it is a nice experience for you then. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised at how nice it feels here. How about you, Hanako? She shakes her head from side to side. It is my first time too. As we continue walking, I begin to feel pins and needles in my legs. It is a little disturbing, given there's no reason for it to be happening. How weak are you? Could you two hold on a moment? I just need to... Are you having a heart attack again? Is anything wrong? Nah, I've just got pins and needles in. Another heart attack. Okay, this is why Amy is the best choice for Hisao. She's the only one that will push him to actually work on his condition. My vocal cords suddenly become taut as my chest tightens instantaneously. I quickly pull my upper arm over it, trying to quell the shock of pain spreading throughout my entire body. Hisao! No, it's a question, not a... Hisao? Lily's face is only a mildly concerned, not knowing the side which Hanako's recoiling from. I'm fine. Just tired. I remove my arm from my chest and force myself to begin to walking again. It is just a minor heart flutter, so it'll pass like the others. Oh. It only takes a couple of steps before my body violently revolts against me, my legs suddenly beginning to give way underneath me, and all the tension in my knees seeming to evaporate. Just lay on the floor! Before I can react, they usually give way under my weight, leaving me only just enough time to brace myself and fall onto all fours. Ah, damn. Not here. Hisa! Ah! I cannot yell louder than that. I don't live alone. As I look up to her, I realize my face is still taut with pain, only adding that much more to her worrying. She looks like, meh, another heart attack, eh? As I look up to her, I realize out. Hisao? Hanako, tell me what's going on. Hanako, tell me. Hanako quickly moves to my side as Lily almost panics, having little clue as to exactly how bad a condition I'm in. While she stands there petrified, I lower my face and take a deep breath. I come to a realization that makes me endlessly irritated with my stupid self. With all the excitement of my new surroundings, I entirely neglected to take my medications last night or even this morning. Oh. Taking another breath, the acute pain in my chest begins to die down as suddenly as it had arrived. Thank God. Am I gonna see a bright light now? As it does, I became acutely aware of the sweat by now pouring off my face, and the two scared girls around me. Hisao! I'm fine, Lily. I'm fine. I screw up my brow in an effort to lever myself up. Hanako's arms quickly moving to catch me if I fall as I stumble a bit before regaining my balance. I look to Lily and Hanako, worry written on both their faces. I feel awful, utterly awful. I think we should go back. I, realizing the futility of protesting, I look away in frustration. Fine. Katawa, Shoujo. Next time.